What's up, people? I'm just sitting here today, Sunday. Okay, so let's just see who comes on live today. So, my weekend, what did I do? I went to go see, um, I went to go see a friend. Uh, and the band. Yeah, it was good. Um, One of my friends had her sister come in for her birthday, and so it was really nice. I was at the East Side Cannery Saturday and Sunday. I mean, Friday and Saturdays. Sorry. Hi, Colby. What's the matter? I'm sorry. I haven't been feeling well. I've been really like my body's been hurting me, and I have a lot of aches. And I went to the urgent care today, and I had myself checked, and hopefully it's nothing serious that I have. But anyway, let's get into the weekend, and let's get into topics. Let me see. I I had uh, yesterday. Not yesterday. Actually, this morning I saw a story of this little girl that Oprah Winfrey had a show, and I believe it was in 2006, and it was about a little girl, and she was you know uh was like neglected. She was like around, I believe, around 3 years old when this occurred to her, and it happened to her. And she was, like, she never went to school, and her the neighbors kept looking at the little girl, that she kept peeking her little face outside, and they decided to call the police. And so then one of the cops went to where the little girl was at, and they what they saw was something so horrifying, and almost like it's something like from a horror movie. What excuse me, when they went to see the little girl, she was malnourished, so skinny, and I I don't know how old she was, but I'm saying like 3 years old, but I think that she was a little bit older because she was so malnourished that when the cops saw her, she was in diapers, and the diaper was very soiled, and the house was filled with roaches and with spider webs, and spider webs, and roaches all over the place, and just like uh, she was sleeping in a dirty bed, and when the cop you know uh, saw the little girl, she was not speaking. She was actually grunting, or something like an animal, and she crawled on her, not crawled, but it was so weird, he said, because but it was that she looked, like a little animal, and when they asked the mother, could she do that? All she said was, I can, I, I am only doing the best that I can. And he responded to her. He said, I guess you doing the best that you can is not enough. So they removed her from the house. Unfortunately, the little girl, the child services had been in the house before, and they had offered that mother help. And apparently, the mother, of course, did not. I guess that she felt like she was doing what she could. Uh, the little girl that is now, of course, a young lady, and she goes to school, and she got adopted by parents, loving parents. As she grew older, uh, the family that had adopted her, she actually, the little girl was more open to male figures than female. And so the mother that had adopted this little girl, which is now a young lady, no, I guess is no longer with, the little girl, and she had to separate herself or probably not have any kind of communication with the poor girl, which of course it was not her fault. It was her circumstances and the way the mother, raised that child, and she was like an animal. She was raised like an animal. She didn't go to school. She didn't know anything of how to talk. She couldn't feed herself. So she really had to learn how to do all these things that normally a child was supposed to learn. And so I felt so bad for the little girl because in the conditions that they found her, with feces and her pamper all soiled, she was so skinny, like weighed about 90 or maybe less pounds. When the cops found her, the child had lice in her hair and all kinds of, all her hair was all filled with insects, and it was so sad. I mean, how in America this could happen to a child and be overlooked is amazing, and actually appalling to me, because we're supposed to be a society. Why? Why you cry? Why do you feel like crying, Rodolfo? Why? Why? Oh, like, oh my God, why? I feel so sad when you say that. I look and look and look, your eyes. I cry, but why? Why do you cry? Don't cry. Oh my goodness, don't cry. Don't. You don't need to cry. I'm okay. You don't need to be sad or cry. Why? You need to answer me. You need to answer as to why you crying. Or why do you feel like crying when you see my eyes? Oh my God, I look that horrible. I went to the doctor today. I was saying before I went to the doctor, I didn't feel well today. Actually, I felt very sick today, and I had to go to the urgent care because my whole body is like it's hurting me, and it has nothing. It's not even related to a flu. It's not even symptoms like a flu-like symptom. Like my whole body hurts me. I wake up in the morning and it's like I feel so much pain. And what it possibly can be is probably that I'm low in iron. And so maybe that's why my body is hurting me, and not enough water. I need to consume water more because I hate water, to tell you the truth. I don't like the taste of water, which is no taste at all. So that's why I have so many problems with my body. It's killing me, Rodolfo. My body is killing me. But Rodolfo, don't cry. That's very bad what you said to me. I don't want you to cry. You know, I don't see why you feel like crying when you see me. But why? Why are you crying? Why are you crying? Why? Why are you crying? But why are you crying? That's what I want to know. I'm Look, Rodolfo, everybody cries. I need to drink water, but don't cry. I mean, you gotta have a reason why you're crying. Do you feel sad when you see me? Do you feel sorry for me? Or do I look ugly? Or maybe that's why you're crying because, oh my God, she's so ugly. No, I'm just joking. I just want you to laugh, but, and laugh not at me, but with me. But yeah, why are you crying? You have to tell me why you're crying though, because then I'm gonna feel sad if you don't tell me why you're crying. But why are you crying? Do you feel like you're depressed? Because if you feel like you're depressed, maybe we can talk about it. I feel depressed too because it's like some things I want to solve and I can't solve them, and this I have. You know what, Rodolfo? Gonna tell you the truth. Sometimes we need to go through things that probably make us not want to go through, but we need to go through them in order to grow. You understand? And it doesn't matter how old you are. We need to go through it, because I know you cry. Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I do cry a lot. I do. How do you know that I cry a lot? But actually, I do. I'm a very, very sensitive human being. And I cry out of anything. I mean, I cry if I see somebody abusing a child. I cry if I feel that somebody has done something to me that was not justified. You understand? Like, I cry if people do things to me that I didn't deserve. And so yeah, some people mistake that as being a weak person. And so sometimes, yeah, people can take advantage of that, or they can mistake it as that you are unhappy with your life. No, it's not that. Is that I feel that I could connect on a very spiritual level, and that I'm very, very susceptible to probably relating to people that have been through a lot of issues, or probably are going through a lot of struggles. And so I can relate to that. I can definitely relate to a lot of the things that other people are going through or have been going through. And so, yeah, when you say in truth that if I have, or do I cry a lot? I do. I mean, I can see something online that will trigger me to cry because I can actually feel the pain of that person or of that animal. And so that's why when I see things that are so graphic, I actually, I take it to heart. Like, why do people do that? Why do you harm other people for your satisfaction? Or for, some people do things just to, because they want to see what triggers you, or they want to see, what they want to, your buttons. They want to, I feel, yeah, I do cry a lot, but you're still not telling me why why are you crying? Are you crying because I cry a lot, or maybe you're crying because I touch my prosthetic eye a lot, which of course I do because I have an infection in that damn eye. But I'm glad that I have this eye though. But yeah, no, you don't need to cry. You probably can relate to, how I feel, and maybe that's why you feel sad. Because yes, you are right. I do cry. I do cry a lot. I shouldn't even be crying because sometimes people, like they will tell you, they will say, why are you crying? It's so ridiculous. It's just an animal, or, why are you crying? You don't even know that person. But, I'm not like that. I mean, I don't really have to know you in order to feel the same feelings that that other person is feeling or is going through. Sometimes, I'm not the only person out there who is like that. There are many people who are like that, who actually feel other people's pain, or, they feel their sorrows, or they feel like maybe they're lost in the world, or they're lost, or they feel like people are not compassionate to them. And I'm not like that. I'm actually a very compassionate person. Way back in the days when I was really young, I wasn't like that. I was not a compassionate person. I was really hard, I had a really, like, a thick wall right in between that other person. And so I try not to build walls, so that, but sometimes you have to, like people like me who suck in, who take a lot of energy in from other people, whether good or bad. Sometimes you need to build that shield so that negative energy does not come your way, because people want to assume or want to take advantage of the fact that you are who you are. You understand? And so that can be a plus by being compassionate or an empath. But also the fact that if you are like that, you have to be careful of the kind of energy you receive from others, because not all energies are good for you, and not all energies are are good are not only good for you, but also you got to be careful, because some energies are actually very bad, and they can actually make you sick, and they can actually bring about that other person's negativity can come upon you and make you even more sick. So, yeah, I have a lot of things going on in my life right now that I wish that I wasn't going through. But like I said, we always have to keep a positive attitude, and we have to really try to not let the negative win, and actually try to stay in a positive light always. I mean, it's not like I don't through depression. I do. I think I go through depression more because I don't live with anyone. I just live with two dogs. And though I release my energy through my dogs, it's not always good because I don't want my dogs to be harmed because of the energies that, or the negativities that I have, be transferred to them or to any other person. But most likely, people who live alone and are highly sensitive to, you know, to feelings or to other people's problems, that they make it their problem. That's how I am. Like, if I know that somebody has a problem, I take it upon myself to make it my problem. And I'm trying not to do that, because sometimes what you bring in is a lot of negativity towards yourself. And so then it makes it hard for you to actually come off that, because not only do you have your your thing going on, but also you're carrying the negativity that others bring upon you. And so it makes it even harder, especially if you are in a depression mode. So no, like, you're probably a person, Rodolfo, I see as a person who is very sensitive, and probably you see what others, you know, like they don't want to see, or they let that pass by them. So you must be the kind of person that actually, has that sense, that sixth sense that's really opened. It's called the third eye. and it's really open, and so you also can see through eyes and through probably through expressions and expressions by face or expressions by body language, and so it makes you a more observant individual. Okay, most people don't observe. Most people just, like, all right, okay, she must be okay, so that's it, and bye. But you're not like that. You're like, okay, something is deeper here that I'm seeing, and so I think that's what's making you feel the way that you are feeling. Also, it could be like the moon change. And so, like women, we change, and it's hormonal, and also it has to do a lot with the way we are built as human beings, and so we are affected by the lunar eclipse, or the lunar. I call it the lunar thing. Women go through their menstruation or whatever. I don't really want to get into that topic because it's very private. But yeah, a lot of people go through that crazies, but you're not crazy. That's not what I'm trying to say. But there are people who actually are like that, and they can't control that. You have to have a really inner will to do that. You have to be like, you know that time is coming, and so you try to do other things so that that kind of thing doesn't affect you in a very strong way. And so yeah, so maybe I may look like the kind of person who I draw a lot of attention to people who are kind of very different, very, very different. See, I do, I understand you. And as a matter of fact, I was thinking about you today. I saw a picture of you, and I don't know if it was on Facebook, but I know that I saw a picture of you. And yes, I kind of understand people like you because I'm like that. You understand? So I feel like a lot of the times people, when they see me, they see a very different person. Almost a person that, not intimidating, but kind of like, a lot of people don't like to hang around different people. And so people, I feel like that. I feel like, I guess that I bring off a kind of aura of, like, she's different. And so maybe that's why I'm approached a lot by people who are different, because I give off that energy of that. And so many people mistake that as, when I draw in that energy, a lot of people mistake that as something like she's angry or she's upset, or or she's, like, has an attitude, and it's not that. I try to protect myself against people who can harm me, or people that think that because I am a certain way, that they can take advantage. Hey, no. That they can have the opportunity to take advantage of me. And so I'm not the only person that's like that. There are many, many, many people who are like this. Many people. I don't think that I'm original in any kind of way or different. Sometimes, you have to be around different people that are not like you, so that you can learn from them, you know? And yeah, like, I do understand because I go through depression almost all the time. And it's only because I'm living alone. I live alone. I don't, and when I do go out, I'm almost glad that I do go out, because I have friends who actually invite me to places. And it's a good thing. If you feel like, like you feel down and you feel like, wow, like I can't handle this problem. I always say, always put yourself in a good place, and also try to meditate, which is really good because that aligns your energy, and that definitely aligns your whole chakra is what they call it. And I believe a lot in the meditation and in the holistic kind of thing. But sometimes, like I said before in my other video, if you need medication, man, just take it. I used to take a lot of medication, okay? And still need to take medication. Like I was thinking to myself today when I was in the doctor, I need, like, if I'm really in a depressed mood and they tell me, like, okay, Maria, I find nothing wrong with you physically. Like, well, that's what they told me today. Like, your vital signs are good, but then, you can be low on iron, or possibly I could be low on potassium. But, like, if I know that something is affecting me mentally, and, like, let's say they can't find the solution to my problem as to why I'm hurting so much, I actually feel like I'm actually hurting because I might be very chronically depressed and I may not know it. And so I want to get help for that. I don't want to feel this kind of pain, or also it could bring about that because you feel so sick. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about me now. That possibly that's why, you may need more than just holistic things to align you, you know? A lot of the times when you have immune deficiency problems, that can also bring a great deal of depression. And I'm not going to deny it. A lot of people do suffer from immune deficiency, and it's very painful. Just like my fibromyalgia, I think it's called, and also lupus, and it makes your energy very low, and so it doesn't help in the mental area as well. I wish I could see these live feeds, but I'm now in medication. Oh, you have 6 medications that you're on. Yeah, but it helps it to function. I'm sure that it helps it to function. And if it's not helping you to improve your balance, then probably you would want to talk to your doctor about that. Because I used to be on Ativan because I get a lot of anxieties. Like I just had an anxiety just a few minutes ago. So I go through anxiety, and it doesn't make you a lot of people confuse a lot of the sicknesses, like, oh, she's really like mental and shit. And it's a lot of the times when you have anxiety attacks is actually literally because you are actually feeling, and it's for real. Like, like I will get an anxiety attack because I fear needles. I am the one, and I was talking to my friend about this. Like, I went to my urgent care, and she was really nice. The nurse that was there, she was really sweet. But as the minute as she told me about a needle, I started freaking out. And as my friend was talking to me about needles just a few minutes ago, I started freaking out. So a lot of the things, don't think that it's just a mental thing. Many of the times what you are feeling is really real. It's not fake. Okay, so many of the feelings that you are actually feeling probably are real feelings that you are actually feeling, not just like you think that it's mental, because many of the times it's not mental. Well, guess what? I have medical insurance too. And so, yeah, that's why when you go to a doctor, you want to go to a doctor who's going to be with you and support you. And I mean, what I mean with support means is, like, if you say, look, I have this thing going on with me, and I feel like maybe I'm not getting the medical treatment that I should, and that I am not being checked like I should be. And I just feel like, like you guys are just taking advantage of the insurance, and A lot of the doctors do that. Many of the doctors would just sit down with you for a session. I had this. And he was giving me medication. Like, okay, I'm going to give you this medication. Bam, bye. All I was there, and he asked me, he said to me, it was actually a psychiatrist. He said to me, he said, so Maria, how you feeling? Yeah, this and that. I would tell him how I feel. And he would look at me like, he would listen to what I was saying. Just like this. Okay, Maria, so now I'm just going to, this is your medication. Please take it, and I'll see you next week. I have a problem with that because I'm there with you talking about my problems, and I don't want you, and I'm not paying for my insurance. Like, my insurance pays everything for me. I don't give a shit because, yeah, sure, my medication, I could take a whole bunch of medication, but if you're sitting there just to milk the insurance and you're just there to just give me medication and not really actually listening to what I have to say to you, because if I went through it and I'm actually wanting to speak to you about it and you just like for a whole hour and you're just writing down and just like, okay, well, take that, bye, then I feel like that's a waste of time. I'm sorry. Look for another psychiatrist, or look for another doctor who is willing to, help you, and also they're willing to communicate with you on a human level and not on just basis of I'm just here solely to give you medication. And that's what's wrong with the doctors today, that they want to just milk out of the insurance, especially if you have Medicaid and Medicare, and you're going to this doctor and you're sitting there for a whole fucking hour, and that doctor is not helping you in any kind of way to evolve into a better you, and not listening to your problem, because that's what you're there for, is for them to help you out and also to guide you to a better you. And what I mean by guide is not every step of the way, but to guide you to think, is this the right path for you, or do you think that this is the great advice, or what are you going through? Do you think that that is the best decision for you? Because normally when you go to a therapist, you're there to, and I don't believe in group talking either, like group therapy. I was in group therapy. What is the problem with group therapy is that I do have a problem with talking to other people about my shit. Okay? Because I don't need the opinions of others, and I also don't need for others to hear my problems. So, but I went, and then it wasn't helping me either. But like the next time, if I want a doctor and I want a psychiatrist, I'd rather go to a life coach then. And because the life coach will be listening to you, and they actually, if you have a good life coach, they will actually help you, and actually will talk to you on a one-on-one level, like on a one-on-one, like actually help you, and not just somebody who's just giving you fucking medication to medicate you, just to medicate you. You understand? Because you could be taking a whole bunch of medication, but if your problem isn't solved, then what's the use of taking the fucking medication if your problem is not being solved on a one-on-one basis? Now, with that, I'm not telling you to give up on your doctor, but to investigate on other doctors who you possibly may want to get involved with, or probably think that they can do a better job than your current psychiatrist or psychologist. Actually, if anything, Rodolfo, I recommend that if you want to go to your regular doctor, now I'm not a doctor, but I have been through psychologist, and I have you know that I'd rather have a psychologist than a psychiatrist. And why? Because they actually talk to you. Psychologists actually talk to you, and they're not freaking milking your insurance money. They're actually talking to you on a one-on-one. And I have been to psychologists, and if I need to go back to a psychologist, that is exactly what I want. A psychologist. Well, no, I don't think that you should take your whole medication, like your whole medication. Like, what do I mean by that? Not all at the same time. If you're trying to tell me that, you want to go to sleep forever and you want to end it, no. I'm not going to suggest that because you got a lot to live for. Like, you got a lot to live for that beautiful little grandson that you have. He is so adorable. Oh my God. I mean, you know something? You are so fortunate in so many ways, and you don't know how because you are still alive and you're still there for your grandson, and your grandson is having your love, and when you see that life, remember that you'll only have them only that age for a little while. So try to take advantage of that. We all go through problems, but we remember this, Rodolfo. We all go through problems, but remember that you are not the only one who's going through that problem. Remember that someone today has lost a life. Remember that I said that in my other videos. Remember that someone today has not. Kobe, what are you doing? Remember that somebody today has not eaten. Remember that somebody today may have lost their life, whether violently or through a very critical illness. Or, well, you don't sleep. Do you have insomnia? Is that what it is? Because maybe, I know, okay, like maybe those medications are not working. Maybe, I don't know how long you've been on your medication. I'm not a doctor. I cannot tell you what to do on that level. But if you feel like that medication is not helping you and you possibly may need something else to have you go to sleep, like to help you go to sleep. Oh, you're always high. Oh. Okay, so your thing is very complicated. Okay, like your thing is actually very complicated because like, do you take marijuana and stuff like that? I don't know what your situation is, but do you actually take marijuana? Look at my eye. Oh, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you take marijuana or something. I don't know because I'm not there with you, but when you mean high, are you always high on your pills? Like, are you always high on your pills? Like, literally, instead of them making you like wanting to fall asleep, it's actually activating more like for you to wanting to stay. Is the medication okay? So, have you to your doctor about that? Like, have you spoken to your doctor and have said, my medication is keeping me up. They're not helping me to go to sleep. I need medication to go to sleep. I need medication to actually make me come down and fall asleep. Uh, I'm so sorry. I actually take tea. You know what I mean? Like, I take tea, um, teas, or I actually take, but I don't recommend that for anyone because, not everyone has the same system, and since you are on medication, you don't want to take herbal teas and mix it with your medication because we don't know possibly what side effect that can cause you. Okay, and it may not cause very good side effects. But I'm trying to be very careful because I don't want to give any kind of bad advice to you. But my crucial advice to you would be you should go to your doctor. Speak to your doctor and tell him, look, let's hold on for a minute, like do this, whoop, like that, very calmly. And you would want to tell him or her, look, let's talk. This medication is not helping me to fall asleep because I need medication to sleep. And you're not actually saying to the doctor, well, I want to sleep forever. What you're trying to say is that you need to, because you can't sleep during the night. So we need something that's going to help me to sleep at night. Okay? And if you don't give me, what I am asking, then we need to talk about switching you to another doctor. Okay, so if you don't trust your doctor, okay, I'm going to ask you this question and don't get offended. If you do not trust your doctor, okay, if you do not trust your doctor at all, if you don't trust your doctor, then you should not be with that doctor because you don't trust your doctor. The doctors are for you to feel comfortable, not uncomfortable. And doctors are there for you to get help, not to not get help. And if you fear or if you feel like you cannot trust your doctor, then maybe you need to switch your doctor. Regardless of what they say to you, then if they tell you, well, look, we cannot do that for you, because sometimes they will do that, then you need to tell your doctor, we need to change you. Okay, but then what you need to do, and I'm not actually telling you what to do, but my advice to you is that you need to tell that doctor that you need to listen, you need to have someone listen to you, okay? And actually, you need to have someone to listen to you because this medication is not helping you. And so if she's not really down with listening to what you have to say and she's just saying, well, we'll give you another medication, well, then that's not really a doctor that's really listening to you. All she's doing is just giving you medication, but she's not really listening to what you really are trying to convey to her, is that medication that she's giving you is not working out. And so if she says, like, if she brushes you off and she's not listening to what you have to say, then you need to switch your doctor. My advice to you is that you need to change your doctor, and probably you need to change your doctor soon, because you're not sleeping and that's not normal. You have to sleep. You need your rest, you have to sleep. And so, I don't know what kind of medications you're on, and that's none of my concern. That is your privacy, and I have no right to, invade on that privacy. But if you feel like you can't trust her, then why are you with her? Because actually she's there to help you health-wise and mental-wise, and also to make you feel better, not make you feel like you can't trust her. That's what I'm saying. That's my advice to you. I try to be very careful on the doctors that I choose as my doctors. If I feel like that doctor is not, is not beneficial to me in any kind of way, I protest that. Just because I have insurance and my insurance is paying that for me, well, even more I should look into another doctor, because they're the ones who are paying it for me. So if I don't like that doctor, well, guess what? I'm going to switch to another doctor. And if that doctor doesn't work out, then there will be another doctor, as long as I get results. If I'm not getting results, then, I have to look elsewhere so that I can get the medical, correct medication, or the medical attention that I need, so that I can feel better. Okay, so, Rodolfo, I hope that, you take that into consideration and think about it. Just don't go head on about it, but you need to speak to your, to your doctor. You need to speak with her and you need to, and just tell her how you feel, because it's very bad when you go into an office and you totally don't trust your doctor and she's just giving medication after medication, and probably the communication is not really there, or probably both of you are not communicating enough so that she understands that what she's giving you as medication is not really working out for you, and that you need some kind of other medication so that you can feel better and that you can sleep, better as well. I've been through that. Well, that's why I left my psychiatrist, because I felt like he was just giving medication and, putting higher dosage of medication, that I felt like, and I told him when I went in there, I said, look, you are not in charge of the decisions that I make regarding my medication. I am. And I am the one who makes the decision whether I should come off them or not. Now, I didn't come off the medications. I never came off of my medications, not even here in Las Vegas, because I haven't seen a psychiatrist or I haven't seen a psychologist doesn't indicate that I don't need medication. And actually, I probably do need medication to make myself feel better. And I'm not shying away from that. It's high time that people get off of that bandwagon about stigmatization. And the only reason why mental mental illness is so stigmatized is because people are always stereotyping of what a mental patient, or what mental illness looks like. And mental illness looks nothing of what we thinking, because even the most famous celebrities and the most famous designers and just people in general, like famous people, are going through look at Selena Gomez. She's going through mental issues, and yet she's a very beautiful young girl, a lot to live for. She's absolutely gorgeous, but because of all the things that she's been going through health wise, has made her depressed. And so you wouldn't think by the way that she looks that she could possibly ever have any mental issues. Little do we know that, yes, many people in many different walks of life go through mental illness. And mental illness is not defined by how you look, it's defined by how you feel. And so there is no color, there is no age, and there is no gender, and there is no ethnicity when it comes to mental illness, and there is no age. So I don't know if I'm repeating myself, but there is no age. So when we talk about mental illness and about the stigmatization that it has, or it has had for many years, we should always speak out about it, because we get into this fixation about that we have to look a certain way in order, we thinking in our heads that this is the way a mental illness looks like, and it's not. That we have to come out of that, because that's not what mental illness is about. It's more of how you feel inside. And so if you're not feeling all good inside, then it's going to show on the outside. And so that's where we have to put a stop to that, because sometimes it may not show. Sometimes mental illness is not shown from the outside, and we hide it so well that we think that, okay, since I'm hiding this, I'm okay. I can get away with it because nobody knows. We have to try to move on, and we have to move past that, because there are a lot of people who are, unhappy, and they're not happy, not happy, first of all, on talking about mental illness, and talking about mental illness on issues that are very important. And so this is why, like, we have to speak on it. And like Rodolfo, I'm almost glad that you spoke on it, And that's my advice to you, because I am not a nurse and I'm not here to guide, like dictate, not guide, but dictate on how you should live your life or what you should do, because it's only up to you if you want to make that step. I cannot make that step for you unless you make it on your own. You have to be willing to make that move and that step and not fear what people think, not fear to speak up to your doctor, not fear to speak up on your psychiatrist. And if they're not giving you the right medication, or they're not giving you the amount of time that is needed to for you to speak and to actually get that off your shoulder, then you don't need to possibly be with that psychiatrist who's not taking or psychologist or any kind of doctor who's not giving their time to you, because that's what they're there for. They're there to take care of you. They're there to take care of your mental state of being. That's what they studied for. That's what they're there for. That is what they're getting paid for. And I feel like if you're not getting that service, then you shouldn't even be with that doctor. A doctor will normally sit down with you like for 15 minutes and not listen to anything that you have to say, simply because they feel like, okay, I am getting a check and I am going to milk this till the end. And all I have to do is just give them medication because, they will be numb to how they feel. And actually, and it's not true, because you catch on and you catch on, like Rodolfo, and he's catching on and he's saying, whoops, I'm not feeling like myself. And so that's what I'm trying to say. A lot of people just, go to these doctors and they don't want to take the time to listen. And a lot of the people, want to, get the right services and they want to feel better. They just don't always want to get medicated. It's good to have your medication, but if it's the right dosage and also if it's helping you. If it's helping you, then you should always take your medication. I am the first person who is going to tell you and advise you to, yes, take your medication. Thumbs up. It's not a bad thing. You're not doing anything, that's not going to enable, disable you. That's what I was going to say. It's actually going to make you feel a whole lot better. If she doesn't listen to you, then maybe, if she doesn't listen to you, well, maybe you should talk to somebody about that, because she should be giving you the utmost service like anyone else. No one is different. Just because you have the money, and that's what bothers me too, is that you have the money and they treat you like gold, but if you don't have it and you're like, you have Medicaid and Medicare, which, a lot of people have services of Medicare and Medicaid, health insurance. So they think that, oh, well, I'll just treat them like what they are, disabled, or, they have insurance that's not really going to pay me that much, or, this is an easy peasy and we'll just go to the next. And so, no, we do have the option to choose who we want as our doctors. So we have the option of choosing whether we want to remain with this doctor who's not listening to us, who's not giving us the service that we deserve and the treatment that we deserve to feel better. And so when we have doctors like that who actually give the other doctors a bad name, and then it makes it impossible because we think that every doctor is the same. So it's not true. A lot of the doctors who really, you know, uh, who actually take their profession seriously and their patients too. Not all doctors are the same. You just got to find them and you got to look for them, and you got to look for them very, very wisely. If you have a doctor who's, in there with you and asking you questions and saying to you, this and that, but if they're asking you questions and doing it all over again, like your other doctor, then you're going to say, you're going to notice that. Those little things, you're going to notice it and you're going to catch on, and then you're going to say, oh, I don't want you next doctor until you find one that is suitable for you and that will actually listen to you and not just giving and not just medicating you just to medicate you and that's it. Well, okay. So I have spoken about that. What else you guys want to speak about? But yeah, Rodolfo, we can go on, but like I said, it's up to you. You are the one who has to take that step. I cannot make that step for you. I can only advise you, and I can only tell you that if you're feeling that way and you feel like you can't trust her and you feel like maybe you're not getting the services that you need, then maybe you should, try looking other places. And yes, you do have the option. You have the option to either stay or you have the option to go and look for something different and look for someone who will actually help you and not just give you medication because you already know that you need medication, but you actually want also communication. You want the one-on-one. And so I feel like maybe you should look into that. Ah, okay. I hope I'm giving you the right advice. I hope that I'm just not just telling you this and you just brush it off like, okay, I'll just like not listen to what she's saying. But I hope that you really take that into consideration because you seem like you're unhappy at where you're at right now in your life or medically unhappy, I should say. And so maybe if you speak up and talk about it like you did to me, well, maybe, you will find what you need. And I hope that you do because, everybody deserves to have good treatment. So, is there any other topic that you would like to talk about? Oh man, he's giving me low. Yeah, all the medication is giving me low what? Low self-esteem or low what? When you talk to me about that, what do you mean? Like low temperature or low, I don't know. Let me see. My eye is so bad. Look at that. Oh my God. But yeah, like, what do you mean by that? My eye is really messed up. Like, this is a problem for me. Like, like I had a really good doctor in New York, and now, like, I'm really depressed because I don't have the same doctor that I have now. And so, medically, I need medical, like, assistance for my eye. And so, yeah, like, when you talk about low, what do you mean by low? Like, low in self-esteem? Or are you talking about, wait a minute, like, low in what? Because you have to make yourself clear on how what low you feel low and how, what do you mean by that? Like, I don't understand what you're trying to say. Low in what? I wish I could find something. Okay, testosterone. Okay, I can't help you with that. Okay, but okay, you know that risperidol, that's not necessarily untrue in what you're saying. Okay, wait. I'll be right back. Don't go away. Wait, don't go away, Rodolfo. Wait a minute, let me see my eyelid. Okay. Okay, like that's risperidol. Because I used to be in Ativan, but I also used to be in risperidol. Okay. No, that's not necessarily untrue. If you mean sexually, like it lowers your libido. Well, yeah, that's gonna happen if you if you are on medication like for a long time and your body gets used to it, and then what happens is that you start losing your sexual libido. Okay, and so maybe it's too high. Maybe the medication that you're taking is too high in level. Then what I suggest, if you are ashamed to tell her that, then you is not really okay, but it's really that you don't trust her. Is that because she's a female, she's probably not knowing this, because since she is a female, and you're probably, I would feel ashamed too, like not ashamed in the fact that, okay, like, yeah, because it's very awkward. I know what you're saying. It's just like a woman when she goes to the gynecologist and she feels uncomfortable because it's all of a sudden it's a male doctor. Okay, like what would I choose? A female doctor. It's natural, like, okay, like you wouldn't tell your female doctor, well, yeah, like that's something really personal, and like you would feel like, how do I tell her this? My suggestion to you is like, okay, it's just a suggestion. It's not nothing like, either you tell her and be forward with her and say, look, this is what's happening, and you know this medication is, it's lowering my testosterone, and it's taking away my libido, and or my sexual thing. And so, but if you feel that uncomfortable, and you don't feel comfortable around her just saying that, then you would probably need to change your doctor to a male doctor. So, but I don't, now that you say that to me, I feel now more like I can, like it's not more like, it's not so much like you don't trust her. It's so much of the, you don't trust to say certain things to her because she's a female and she's a woman. And so you feel like she's going to judge you on that, or she's going to look at you funny. Well, that she's not there to really judge you. She's actually there to help you. And so if you don't say that to her, if you don't communicate that with her, you're going to have a lot of difficulties in trying to help you, to better yourself. You understand? Because probably it might be too high, the medication for you. I'm saying might. It could be that. It may not be that. It may be something else that's going on with you. I don't know, because I'm not a doctor. But yeah, those medications usually do that. And so, you need to speak on a professional level, to someone who knows more, and can help you more on that, because I am not the kind of person that you should be speaking, and I really shouldn't be speaking up on that, because that's something so private, and it really is about you on a personal, as you. So, me, I can only advise you and suggest to you, on how you should deal with it, but it's all, like I said, it's really all up to you, because that is your private thing. Like that's you, like that's your private thing, and that only should be discussed with your doctor and with you, not with somebody who's not a professional like me. But like if it were me, like I'm talking on a me level, I would probably be talking to a female so that I don't feel so uncomfortable talking to a male doctor, that probably he cannot relate to me because he's a male, and so that's how I would feel. So there. But there's nothing to be ashamed of, or maybe not to trust her. Just give her a chance. She might help you out. But I understand where you're coming from. Absolutely, I understand where you're coming from. It's not like I don't understand where you're coming from. I do. I understand you completely. So let's see. It's a really good conversation, though. Yeah, most people do feel like that. Like when, if, like you have something so private like that, yeah, I would feel the same way. Well, what did she say? I mean, if you spoke to her about it and you still feel like, I don't understand what you're trying to say, because first you're saying to me like you feel ashamed to tell her, And now you're telling me like I did? Are you messing with me? Like, yeah, because first you tell me like, okay, like I feel ashamed to tell her that. Okay, but then I did ask her if medication causes. Oh, you asked her. You didn't directly say that it was you. Okay, so, well, maybe she should know. Well, what did she say, first of all? Because I'm here. You just asked her. I know. I know. I understand now. But, okay, but you asked her, but okay, like, don't tell me what she said because I really don't want to know what she said. But, maybe you should communicate with her that it is you that's going through it because she doesn't necessarily if she asked you back, well, is that you, if you're are you experiencing that, then maybe you should have just said, well, yes, I am experiencing that, and what can I do about it to, to heighten my testosterone level. She said yes. Well, if she said yes, then maybe you should ask her, well, look, that's what's happening to me. I don't know if you have asked her that. I don't know, like, but if you have told her that it's you, and you need to then tell her or ask her, what can I do to not have such a low level of, I call libido or just testosterone. I mean, I don't know what to tell you on that because I'm not a male. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to, to help you out, but I'm not a man, and so I wouldn't know. I just know on my part as a female that it's totally different for females as for males. And then maybe she could find something else to help you, like something else medically that she can help you so that you don't feel like that. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, I really do want to help you, but, like, I don't know what else to say to you, but other than just to communicate, like if you were speaking, like if you're speaking to me, like you can speak to her. The same way you're speaking to me right now, like you can speak to her. Like you don't need me to help you out with that because you already have her. And all I can tell you is that if you don't trust her enough to tell her how you feel, maybe you really should open more about it to her and actually, feel comfortable to talk to her. And if you don't feel that comfortable to talk to her about it, then maybe you should have a male doctor so that maybe you can feel comfortable to speaking up about it. I see that there's a second viewer. Hi, second viewer. But anyway, like I said before, I hope that everything works out for you. We could speak on something else right now, like another subject that maybe you want to talk about, but I hope that I have helped you out because right now I need a lot of help with my eye. As you can look at that. Well, maybe a male doctor would be good for you, like a male doctor probably can help you out, because probably he can relate to you more since he's a man. You know what I mean? And yeah, all she could probably tell you is yes, that it does lower your testosterone, but possibly, I don't know. Maybe you can seek something else that would probably uplift it, or lift or probably make you feel, better. I don't know what to say, what else to say, but like I said, you do have a choice. You don't have to stay with her. I mean, you're not obligated to stay with her. You know what I mean? You can have other choices of doctors to speak out on that subject. Okay? So is there anything else you want to talk about, Rodolfo, since you and I are the only ones that are here on this live and I'm trying to be active on it? So, yeah, like, I don't know what else. I was going to get onto the subject. What subject was I getting into? Oh, well, talking about that, since we are on the subject of mental issues, okay, like if you feel better talking about, I feel more comfortable a male doc. Well, if you do, then maybe that's what you maybe you would want to consider. Maybe that's what you want to consider, is having a male doctor. And just tell her, straight up, just tell her, look, I just feel more comfortable if I spoke to a male doctor. And I mean, and just tell her in a nice way that you've been really helpful to me, but I just feel like there are certain things that I don't want to talk to you about because you are a female. And, like, that's your choice. That really is your choice. It's not up to me. It's not up to her. It's up to you because you are the patient. And after all, you're the one who's going to want to feel better. Okay. So it really isn't up to me to make a decision like that for you. And it really isn't up to her to make that decision. It's up to you. So, oh God. So my eye, it's so much killing me. My eye, oh Rodolfo, my eye, it's hurting me. You see how red that is? Oh my goodness! And look at all. Oh, look at that. That's so disgusting. Look, Rodolfo. I can actually see, but that's so disgusting. But this is Halloween, and so I'm trying to make it really disgusting for my viewers. Actually, I'm gonna do a Halloween where I'm gonna take out my whole eye completely. Well, I hope I am. I really hope that I am being helpful to you, but also to the people out there who are watching this. I don't know, whoever watches this, in New York City, before I even get to something else, in New York City, they have, at the Queens Library, they have made a mental issue film. By the way, Rodolfo, where are you from? I know that you're Puerto Rican, but where do you live? Or do you live in New York? Because, in Queens, they have this film that they have for the youth. And I don't know really if it's for the youth or just in general public, but they were talking about youth, and we're talking about suicide, and we're talking about how this film can possibly help kids to open up more about mental issues, and how probably it could decrease, the suicides that are happening right now, regarding teens. Pennsylvania. Hey, hi, Pennsylvania. Hi, people from Pennsylvania. Wow, Lancaster, not so far away from New York City, by the way. So, yeah, so they have created this program where, you go into the library, you go and see this film, and you watch it. Now, this was created by a young man who suffered depression ever since his family got a divorce. And so he has been to, a psychiatrist and, therapy, and has had mental issues since very young. I think and I believe that the young man right now, he's around 25 or 26. And he says that this program was created by him, and that it is really, he feels that maybe this program and this film can help other youths come out and talk about their issues and about what they're going through. And so I find this to be very, very good, because it could be something that maybe in other states they can incorporate this in their libraries. And I find this to be a very good thing for the youth, but they also should make it like for a general public, really. And, yeah, I'm not from Nevada, actually. I reside in Nevada, but I'm actually from Flushing, Queens, New York. I was born and raised in Flushing, Queens. So I'm a native of New York City. I'm a native. But I've only lived here like for 5 years in Nevada. And yeah, and so just kids come in and they watch this film, and it talks about how to be not, how mental illness is, how stigmatized it is, in the youth community. And so they want to not have that any longer. They don't want mental illness to be something that is stigmatized, which it is, and stereotyped. And so we, like I said before, we have to get past that, because the fact of the matter is that there have been a lot of suicide attempts, because a lot of youth who are under pressure and feel like, they think that they're going through it alone. I think this generally has to do with a lot of people, not just youths, but in particular youths who really, they're going through really a lot of stages in their life, and it's very hard for them to express their feelings. And so it becomes something of almost like a burden to them, like it's overpowering and overwhelming. And, they need this kind of programs. They need more programs like this, not only in New York City, but they should really consider this in states where the percentage of suicides are occurrent. You know, like some states are low in suicide, and then there are others, like when if you live in the city and are living in a big city, and where there's more likely to be more suicides attempt, as as if you're living in a small, I don't know, I think it's all the same actually. Like if you live in a small uh, you know country, I don't think it really makes a difference where you live, as long as they have some kind of resource where youth can go to and speak about how they feel. And so we need more of that. We need more programs like that where kids can actually go to these programs and actually discuss how they feel, and know that they have other teens out there that are going through the very same things they're going through, and the feelings that they feel, possibly other teens are feeling it and they can relate to them. So that, I wanted to make that known, and I think it's very good. And I hope that a lot of other kids out there in New York City will participate in this program, because I feel like this can help. And I'm almost glad that it's a free program in which they can go in and sit down and see this film. So it's very helpful, and I'm glad that they are doing something about kids speaking up, especially the youth, because they are our future after all. I'm glad I've been helpful to you, Rodolfo, because I'm actually here to do that. Not only is this good therapy for you, but it actually is good therapy for me. Sometimes we need to speak up. Like I'm here and I'm talking. Even if it's one person, if you come across my video and you feel like you need to talk, it's good. I actually had a YouTuber today, like a commenter today. Oh God. And I'm not going to mention any names, because I want to keep my viewers' names. If they confide in me in something, you'll only find out if you look through my page of what is being said. But otherwise, like if I'm doing a live, I don't really want to. I try not to mention names. But this commenter stated that they knew Alexander, or they went to her school. Not that they knew her, but they went to her school, and that commenter said that that particular school is very academically, like it's really high pressured, and the environment is very, very high pressured. It's, how would I say it? Well, anyway, she said that it's a she, okay, but she said that she went to that school, and it's a it they. I think that what it is that they want you to be. It was very academically very pressuring, okay? And so maybe the girl, Alexandra, felt that, she had to be perfect to her family, or that She didn't want to disappoint her family, and maybe the school wasn't aware that this particular child was, you know, had had to be academically, you know, up there. I don't even know how to describe it, but she felt like she had to attain a certain level so that she didn't feel like she was disappointing not only the school but also her family. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad that you feel comfortable with me, and that's what I really want people to feel. I want them to feel comfortable, and maybe that she had to attain as an image is what I'm trying to say. Is and so she probably, it's very high. Oh yeah, I'm trying to think of the word, but you know, the school is just like you had to be a certain way probably and academically, and so maybe she didn't want to disappoint her family. This young lady went through that, and so she had to seek you know medical attention, and she had to be under medication, but it was very overwhelming for her, and she went through this for a very long period of time, and she took medication. She's going to college now, but she said in those, in that time when she was a teenager, she felt very much pressured because she had to be a certain way, and she probably felt like her grades had to be, good and pristine, and and you have to, if you go to that certain kind of schools, your grades always have to be really up to par, and always probably straight A. And so maybe Alexander Valares felt this way, and so maybe she was felt very pressured in her school, and yet pressured in her home, and that she had to be a certain way, and that she couldn't release her true self. And so that's where her true self came when she wrote those 200 pages of self-loathing. I think it was because she was probably really, really, like boiling, and she didn't know how to express it. And so, I thank that young lady for expressing and sharing her story, because it's it's somewhat like really scary to think that your child cannot express how they feel, and also fear that they can disappoint you because they're possibly, she had to, you know uh, look like I'm okay, even though she's going through all of this in her school. She had two things: her school image and the image that she was trying to not show in her house. The breaking down, like she was literally breaking down inside, because she had to really academically be up there, and probably she couldn't take it. And so this young lady was going through that, and I was like, wow, really? And I was like in shock, because she told me, like, it's a very, very, I'm trying to look for the word. I can't think of the word, but, like she had to really, be like, I guess that she had to be a certain way, like really intelligent, like not that she wasn't intelligent, but she had to be a certain way. Like, just, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't even know what I'm saying right now, but she had to be a certain way in this, academically. That's what I'm trying to say. Academically, she had to be a certain way in her school. And, I'm even going to try to look up but she said the word in her comment, and I was actually very surprised. She seemed like a very she seemed like a very intelligent and very poised young lady. I'm actually very proud that she stuck it out because me in her position, I would have never made it. Like maybe possibly I wouldn't have taken my life, but being that she went, to a doctor to help her out and give her medication because of all of the things that were going on in her life, I'm so proud that she went to college and that, right now she has a better life right now, not the one that she had before. I so feel because that young lady, Alexander, was going through a really, really rough period and she didn't have an outlet. One thing that young lady said, which is so true, so true. She said, if I had had a counselor in that school or in my school, maybe it would have been easier for me because it's so important that teachers be aware that kids who are so high achievers go through the same things as a normal child, and sometimes it's so expected of them to be a certain way and to always have a level of grades and be a certain way. And, since they are achievers, they have to show that and always, they always have to have that, like, you like they almost feel like they're not allowed to have a breakdown. They're not allowed to, to be them because they're always expected to be a certain way. And so that's true. She said, she hit it on the nail. She said, if I had had a counselor in my school and had an outlet to speak about how I truly felt, maybe I wouldn't have gone so deep into a depression that led to me having to be medicated for. And, that is so sad when she said that because it is so true that they need, counselors. They need, counselors to sit down with kids who are overachievers. If it's more difficult for a regular kid, and I'm not talking about a regular that they don't have any talent, but I'm talking about, overachievers, they go to school for overachievers. They, like they go to this school where, they over excel, and so that is expected of them never to fail. You understand? And so sometimes, where they feel like they look like, wow, I am not a failure and, I'm doing good. Inside is not what's going on. What's going on is that they feel like they have failed because they haven't expressed their true selves. And so I am very happy that this young lady is doing good. She is going to college and she is doing good. Her life is in a better place right now. I only wish you, honey, the best. I am wishing you the best and right on, girl. I am 100% with you. I am so proud of you. And that's why I don't want to mention your name because I feel like what you have said to me is so personal. And, if you want me to mention your name, only you can tell me, but nobody will know unless they go into my page. And I'm proud of her. I'm so very proud of her. I agree with what you said. I totally agree with what you said. If they have more counselors like that for kids who are overachievers and not expect so much of them, just expect of who the person that they are and accept them for who they are. Even if they get a 30 in their test, know that their problem is it's a more of a problem which is deeper, and to never expect anything from just because you have an overachiever in your house doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going through a lot. It's like kids like that who are overachievers are the ones who cannot really express themselves because they feel like they are going to be really harshly judged if they say something that is not very appealing to the parents, or the teachers also could be disappointed in them and say, well, I'm very disappointed that you feel this way, and it's not really about how others, like I've always said, it's not about how others feel, it's how you feel inside. And it's so important that you express that yes, you are an overachiever, but that you have feelings too, and that sometimes you don't always want to you know, on your books. You want to go out with friends, you want to have fun, and you want to, you want to see different things, you want to do different things. And so I felt like that's what happened to Alexandra. I really do feel like that's what happened to her. And so I thank this girl so much. I thank you so much for coming into my page. I am so, so proud of you, and that you are now in a better place in your life, in which now you can say that you feel better, and that you know and that you're no longer suffering in that sense, and that you're taking medication. She, by the way, she does take medication. But now, I do believe that she will succeed, and it's more easier for her now, because now she's in a better place. So that story, I hope that somebody walks into that story and into that comment, because that comment is actually very inspirational, and she can actually inspire others to do the same, and not to feel so pressured if you are in a school that requires you to be a certain way. Always have friends. It's very hard to have friends, especially if you're overachiever. They think so, like so differently from others. But think about this, if you don't speak up, they will never know. Okay, so speak up on that. Speak up. I'm glad that she said that to me, and I'm glad that she brought her story to my page, because I am so glad that she said, I am glad that you're speaking about this subject, because there are people, and there are, a lot of people who don't speak up on mental illness. I am here for that. This is what I'm here for. If I can help one person, I don't care if I never have a subscriber ever in my life, but if I hear comments like that and it's in my page, oh, like that is the ultimate for me. Like that is like when she mentioned that to me, and she said that I went to that very same school that Alexandra Valaris went to. Shit, I was like, oh man. What I've come across is like somebody who now has, graduated, and overcame that, and it took her a long, long time for her to actually be at the level that she is now. I only wish that young lady the best. I truly do. And I will not speak about it. I will speak about it as long as people like her can tell me their story and really make a difference, not only to her, because she's actually is making a difference, and whoever comes across the comment will know that there is a better tomorrow. There is there is life after being in high school, and that your life is not always going to be like that. Where you feel pressured right now, you're not always going to feel like that. It's going to take time. Just like this young lady, it took her many years, but finally she got to the place where she needed to be. And that's what I'm trying to say. And so I helped one person to speak out and share their story. I hope that I can help another person to speak out on how they feel. And like Rodolfo, he spoke about his problem. I can help others just like you. And remember, just because you have a problem doesn't necessarily mean that that problem will be forever. You just got to give it a chance. You know what I mean? Your problem I can actually learn from you. So don't ever think that whatever you tell me, you're not helping me or another person, because you actually are, and you're actually making a difference. Okay? So I'm glad that she came by my page and she told me that. I don't need subscribers, man. I do not need subscribers. What I need is people to speak up. I need people to talk. And if you don't necessarily have to speak here on live if you don't want to, because you know, you don't really have to do that, but you can actually email me. And I'm Mawipa, MAWIAPIA at gmail.com. If you want to speak to me like on an email and you want to, you know what? You can. You actually can. Like I said, I am not a doctor. I am not a professional, but I can be a friend, and I'm definitely a very good listener. And I definitely love to help other people out. I definitely love to help people out. So, that's what I'm here for. Uh, Thank you to the young lady who shared her story. I am so proud of you. You would not believe how proud I am of you. And I'm actually very happy that you are now in a very, in a different place in your life that you can actually say that you're okay. I will. I'll send you my email. Wait a minute. Well, I can't, but I'll send you my email through Facebook. I will. So, this is my email will be strictly only for you guys to speak to me on, your problems if you have any, and if you feel overwhelmed that you don't have anybody to speak to, you can actually, speak to me. I am not a professional, and I'm not here to steer you wrong. And I'm here just for you to have an outlet so that you can feel better. Okay. Probably your problem. I've probably been through it. And if not, it'll be better for you to talk it out. Okay. Because in actuality, my social media is just not about events. I love talking about events and I love going out to events. Today, I didn't do my vlog. I didn't do it because, usually I do a weekend vlog and I'm out there. I wasn't feeling well, and I'm still not feeling well, and I have this darn infection in my eye. And see, like all of you have a problem. Like I have a problem with my eye right now, like this eye right over here. This actually is my glass eye. You should ask Rodolfo the gook that came out of my eye. He was like, oh God, it was very nasty. But yeah, like I'm going through issues too. You know, like I'm going through medical issues, and sometimes I don't have anybody to talk to, and sometimes I wish I can get a hug or somebody to tell me, "Are you feeling okay? Are you okay?" I have friends who do that. Thank God I have friends who actually, take care of me, and they call me and they tell me how you're doing. Like that kind of stuff. It really encourages you to move on and to actually feel better. Yeah, I will. I'll send it to you, okay? I will. All right. So, yeah, sometimes, like on a different note, like sometimes you have friends who will back you up, and you got to choose your friends wisely, because sometimes you'll have friends that really aren't your friends, and they're just like there to see your demise, or not really your demise, but your downfall. Or they're actually there to see, if you're not okay. And so some people like seeing you in a place where you're not good. I love you too. I love you too. All right. And I really mean that. I love you too. Like some people are really like, they feel like, oh, okay, well, she's in a bad place right now, or he's in a bad place right now. Yay. They're actually rooting for your downfall and not really uplifting you. So we have a lot of friends, not we, I don't have friends like that. I have actually really good friends. But the couple that I've seen, you know, actually make me very angry because I'm the kind of person that like I cringe at the fact of people being fakes. I don't like fake people. I definitely don't like people who lie a lot. I think I mentioned this in my YouTube in another video that I made. And so yeah, like can you tell a fake from a real friend? Well, a real friend will back you up. Will have you back at any time and they won't judge you. They won't judge you on your past and they won't judge you on your present and they will probably not judge you in your future. A friend who doesn't support you in any kind of way, whether physically or spiritually, is not a friend. Because a friend, if you really are a friend, you would never lie to your friend. Never. You would never lie to your friend, no matter how bad it is. Because that friend will understand you. If it's truly a real friend, they will understand what you're going through. They will support you 100% in you and what you do, and what you believe in. And when I say believe is like in everything, in every aspect of your life. We have friends that may not agree on what you say or do, and sometimes friends have disagreements. Doesn't necessarily mean that that is not a friend. It's just that you have differences that are not compatible. Okay, you have that are not compatible. Some friends are not compatible, but they are friends and they know how to disagree on subjects on a level of maturity. Then there are those who are on a level of stupidity. And so they want to make you think they they do. Like, okay, like if you do something to me, and I'm going to speak on me and not about anyone, but if you do something to me and I know that you're lying to me, like flat out to my face, like you're lying to me and you're telling me, oh, I love you. Like, let's say, for example, Rodolfo just said that I love you. Okay. Well, you don't go around I'm just saying, I'm talking about me, Rodolfo. I'm not talking about you. Like, I've come across people who say, I love you, and is totally different from their actions. Okay. The actions is what speaks louder than what you are saying. And I've always said this, the true love that you actually will ever have is either, and you don't even really actually have true love from family, but a family that really loves you will actually love you unconditionally. I always believed in this kind of love, and I'm going to say it, and I know that I'm going to look really stupid. I'm about to say, you know what is true love? Your children. Your children. Your mother. Like immediate family, like your sister. And not even that, because sometimes sisters and brothers betray each other. But my love for my sister is authentic and from my other brothers and sisters. I don't know about others out there. But it's very rare that you find a family member that doesn't love you and doesn't back you up. You hate your families? Oh, wow. Oh, well, that's a shame that you say that because there are a lot of people who actually are like that. Like they have families who don't back them up and, who are always judging them, always judging the way they live or the way they look or the way they are. And so, yeah, we do have family members that are like that. And so the word hate is a very strong word to use. I normally don't use that word, and I strongly, strongly feel about that word because that word is really a word that really, if you hate someone, then you really need to look into your deeper self and actually say to yourself, why do you hate your family so much? I don't hate my family. I don't hate any of my family. I don't hate my friends. I don't envy. I do not envy. I am not jealous of my friends. I can say that and truly say that without cringing. I can actually say that and be loyal. I am a loyal friend. They don't change. Well, guess what? There are people who won't change. You have to make your own change. People are not going to change just because you want them to change. And just because you say you want them to change, people are always going to be the way they are. People do not change. You can change you, but you cannot change anyone. You cannot change anyone. No one can change anyone. You either accept that person for who they are, or you totally just not get involved with that person, or just do not deal with that person. It's like that. I am not for like, you need to change for me in order for you to love me. No. You know, if I'm me and I'm not going to change for anyone. I've been like this for many years. And so me changing, not going to happen. But I also don't expect anyone to change for me. You understand? Because it's up to you to change you. It's up to you to make yourself happy. It's up to you to make your story. Everybody has a story in their life. I have a story. You have a story. That next person has a story. Could be tragic, could be happy, could be in between. But everyone has a story. It's up to you. It's up to me. It's up to you to, you either want to change your story and make it a better story or a better life. But it's also up to you if you want to continue to be the same as you are. You understand? Because everything relies on you because it's your life. But to you to expect for others to change is unfair because people are who they are. And if that person is showing you who they are, you either accept that person for who they are or you move along. You move, you just move along from that person. You just remove yourself from those people. Yeah, you have to move on from those people because they are not going to change just because you want them to change, and they're also not going to change because you tell them to change. That change has to come with you. You have to change you. You have to make your change. You have to be your better you and not rely on others to change you or rely on others that they're going to change because you tell them to change. People are who they are, and you have to either accept them or move on. Remember this, hate is a very big word. That word is just like love. I love you is just like I hate you too. No, this is a very big word. I mean, I could see that you dislike your family because at one point you're going to need your family. Everybody needs somebody. And if you don't need your family, then you have to like keep peace with yourself. Like really keep peace with yourself and say to yourself, look, my family are my family. I love my family. I really do. And maybe maybe I dislike some of the things that they, dislike the things about them and how they behave a certain way with you and how they judge you. But like I said, hate is a very big word. It's like, it's like love. I love you and I hate you. It's a very big word. Those words that, you have to be very careful with. You should never hate anyone. Well, people get me mad. I know how you feel. That feeling is very, very, very true. I get mad with people, and so they're mistaking that anger. They can mistake anger actually with a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like, I have my family, like they think like I'm angry, and they think like, oh, you're angry because there's a problem with you. Well, no, not really, not necessarily. You know, you got to understand that what made you mad about that person, you know, or what made you mad in the first place to be mad with that person. Because I have you know that no one gets mad just because they get mad. No. You actually have to provoke madness or have to provoke somebody to be mad at you or had to have done something to make that person mad at you. And so, yeah, especially my family too. They make me mad too. My family make me mad too. I mean, many of the things that my family do, and I'm not talking about my like my whole line of family. Like I have a very big family. I'm not necessarily talking about them, but like for example, my sister can make me mad. Okay, like what made me to be mad at her? You know, she had to have done something for me to be mad at her. And so, yeah, it's just like friends. Like, what did your friend do to you to make you mad? Well, one of them is being dishonest, being disloyal, or lying. You know, knowing that they have lied to you, and then blatantly saying to your face, "Well, that never happened," or you know, there's a problem with you. Like, no, like, no, there's no problem with me. You made me mad because you were not a friend enough to confront the situation or say the truth. So maybe if you say the truth, maybe I wouldn't be mad at you in the first place. I mean, it's that simple, like I hate fakeness. I truly do. I hate people being fake. It is one thing I can't stand it. One thing is that you lie to a person, and then you can actually admit to a person, look, I lied to you. I apologize that I lied to you, and I apologize and I'm sorry. It's like I'm sorry is for shits. You're gonna say I'm sorry to me. You have to actually mean that you're freaking I'm sorry, and I won't do it again. But actually, when you say I'm sorry, that's for shits. Because there's one thing to apologize and not do it again. Like you say, apologize, I apologize. I'm sorry is a word that is used so like that. Like, oh, I'm sorry. And then you do it again. That's for shits. That's for shits. You don't say I'm sorry just for shits. You say I'm sorry and you mean it and you don't do it again. Because if you do it again, then you weren't really sorry in the first place. You wouldn't be doing it in the first place. So why are you saying sorry? Like, if you're not sorry for something, just don't say you're sorry because you're not sorry for it. Like, that's so stupid. Like, some people will be saying, oh, I'm sorry. You know, are you really sorry? Don't say you're sorry if you're not really sorry. Just say, you know what? I'm not really fucking sorry. I just did it because I fucking wanted to do it. Because I really don't fucking like you. And like, I don't really want to be your friend. Or, you're not really my type. Or you're not really my type of friend. Or, I really don't fucking want to hang out with you. And so really, I really don't like you as the whole fucking you. I'd rather have a person tell me the truth, and even if it hurts me, I'd rather have a person tell me the truth than to that person in my face lie to me and just be my friend just because, hey, I can benefit or I can just use that person just to use them because they're a fuck face and they don't know any better. That's what I'm talking about. I hate fake people. I hate fake people. And just to make the assumption that it's okay for you to lie and it's okay for you to do certain things to a person just because you feel like that person is not smart enough that they won't catch on to your lie is like playing, you are actually playing with their intelligence. Like, you don't feel like that person is intelligent enough to have a conversation to them, to actually have a conversation and sit down and say, look, all that time that I told you that I really like you, I really don't fucking like you. That's all you have to say. Like, I'm that kind of, if I don't fucking like you, I'm going to let you know I don't fucking like you. Like, yeah, like, I'm like, I'm really honest about that. And that particular thing, I'm really honest about. Like, if I don't freaking like you, if I don't really, really like you, I'll let you fucking know. Look, I don't like you. And I'll be like freaking indifferent to you. And I won't deal with you in any kind of level. And if I'm dealing with you, is because, if I'm really dealing with you, is because I care enough to deal with you. You know what I mean? Like, I really care enough to deal with you. If I don't really fucking want to deal with you, I won't deal with you. I really won't deal with you. Oh God, look, Rodolfo. You don't really want to know the truth, Rodolfo. I'm not looking for anybody. I am not looking for anybody, Rodolfo. But, however, I feel very flattered that you should say that. That you are so sweet. I actually feel very flattered that one of my subscribers likes me. And is not. I am not. I love it. I love it. I love the fact that you say that to me. But I really am not looking for anyone. I'm not looking for anyone. Not because I feel like I can't find anyone or that I can't have the opportunity to be with somebody. It's just right now, I'm not looking for anyone. I've been through so many garbage, especially with men, that to me it's like, oh my God, like, like, I really don't want to deal with dating with any man. It's like the only man that I have is Kobe right now and Bentley. And those are the only two that I want to deal with at this time. You know what I mean? I don't want to deal with anyone I'm having issues, or that they're having issues on deciding whether they want a relationship or not. You know? And it's not really like, some guys take it as, oh, she's too, she don't want to deal. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm glad that you said that. Like, you are being honest. Like, you're saying to me, like, damn, I feel you. Like, damn. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, a lot of, and it's just not men. I mean, women too. It's like dating, it has to be, like, dating before, like in the 80s and 90s, for me was so easy. Like, okay, you didn't have to have this freaking application. You didn't freaking have to checklist any shit. It was like, okay, I used to give little notes to my little boyfriend, and it was so simple and so innocent and so nice and like hassle free. We broke up and it was like heartbreaking, and I broke up with my boyfriend. Now you break up, it's a whole drama shit. And that's what I don't want any drama in my life. I just want, like, if I'm, like, hey, you're going to have sex one point or another in your relationship. And I'm here, and I'm asking, I'm actually going really out there, because actually a lot of people, like, like, why is she talking about sex, online? Okay, like, at one point you have to have sex in your fucking relationships. It's just like, okay, like, you want to, like, dodge it, and it's like, I'm that kind of person. I try to dodge it. Like, I try to, like, I want to prolong, more the mental thing. Like, I want to get to know you on an intelligent level. Like, if you got no brains up there, I really don't want to deal with you. Because I'm really about talk. I'm brainless as it is. Like, I really need to be with somebody who has brains. Like, I really need a stimulation. That's what I'm trying to say. Intelligent stimulation. Like, have conversations with you, exciting conversation, not just like you're telling me, oh yeah, I agree with you, and oh yeah, I like the same thing, and you're not even fucking compatible to what I really am about. Like, some men will actually fake the whole thing and say, oh yeah, like, you and I are like the same thing. Like, we're compatible. I like the same things you like. And then it turns out in the long run, they're not really compatible at all to what they just wanted sex all that time, so that you can give it up or whatever, and girls are like more gullible in that sense. Like, oh wow, he's so compatible to what, we're so like this and we're so compatible and we like the same things. And it really turns out like, no, in the long run, it's really not about that. It's about, and it goes for women too. This, I'm going both ways. Because we're not going to just stick to men and blame men only. Women too, yeah, women too are in the same thing. Like, oh, yeah, I really like that. And then it comes out that she don't really like that. She's not really compatible to what you like. And she's only agreeing because she wants to date you or she wants something out of you, or well, it goes both ways. So I'm not really going to try to blame it on men only, but women as well. Because you find yourself in situations where like you're with this person and it's really a totally different person. And after a while, they start showing their true colors. And that's when you catch on. And if you don't catch on, is because you're already hooked. And you're already hooked, like really bad. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, I've had that done to me. Like, oh yeah, like, and then, like they tell you, oh, you know what? It's like, I'm not ready to have a relationship, or, we'll see where this goes, or I'd rather have friends with benefits, and let me get this clear because sometimes you want friends with benefits. I've had this. Like you want friends with, but you don't want friends with benefits like forever and ever. You know what I mean? Like it's okay. Like you don't want to get attached to that person because you'd rather have friends with benefits. But guess what? You really are getting attached to that person regardless if you're having friends with benefits with them. And then you catch feelings for them. And that's when it becomes like, wow, I really am catching feelings for this person. Now I gotta disconnect myself from this person because that person is not feeling it the way that you are feeling it. And that's understandable because sometimes you will have that in your life where you'll meet up with somebody who is not on the same page as you are. But however, you don't let, if you're not going to have a friends with benefits with that person and that person has an attachment to you already, well, then you should straight up tell that person, straight up just tell him, look, I am not in the same page as you are. I don't want to get involved in that way. I don't want to have a relationship right now, because I am still looking. You know what I mean? But not string that person along and say, well, you calling that freaking person at freaking 3 o'clock in the morning and wanting a freaking booty call all the time. And you're noticing that and then still stringing them along and saying, let me think about it, or I'm not ready, or, we'll see where this goes, or, chill out. This is not chilling out time because that person has gotten attached to you. And so what your response should be is, we've already seen where this is headed. And so I'm not really on that page. I'm not really on that level. And sometimes mostly women will catch feelings like that. Like, oh shit, I already catched feelings for him and I don't really want to be friends with benefits with that man. But however, I already catched feelings for him. And so men, just to have the booty, will actually let that woman string along because, of course, they have no feelings for that woman because they already tried the cake. You understand? They already tried the cake. What is friendship with benefit? Okay, you are having sexual relationships, sexual intercourse with that person, okay, but on a friendly level. Okay, like you have no strings attached. No strings attached means you're not having any commitment with that person other than just sex. Okay? That's the way I see friendships with benefits. You're friends just on your friends, but yet you're having the benefits of having sex with them. Okay? But however, if one catches more feelings than the other, then you have to remove yourself from friendship with benefits because that wasn't the deal in the beginning. But however, some men and some women will drag it or will lead you on thinking that there can possibly be something more, and then you feel more attached and more attached. And then instead of just saying, well, look, I just really wanted friends with benefits and I'm not really into you, you're really not my type of girl or woman. So I don't want to lead you on. And so I think that we should just separate and just cut it off right here. Not, what I feel is very unfair. Stop it, Kobe and Bentley. What I feel is Bentley, leave Kobe alone. What I feel is unfair is that if you string somebody along and they have feelings for you and they catch feelings for you, then you are the one who is at fault. Not you, the person who's catching the feelings, but the other person who's stringing you along and telling you, oh no, you are not, I'm not stringing you along and I'm not, I'm not trying to find somebody better than you. You know what I mean? Or, they just say, just be honest with that person. Look, I don't want to have anything to do with you. Just don't string that person along because you feel like you need to have something from them. No, money does not have to be involved in that. It's just a friendship with benefits. That's it. Like, that person is interested in you sexually, just as friends, but it's more on a sexual level and not having no kind of emotional attachment to that person. Because once you have an emotional attachment to that person, then it becomes no longer a friendship with benefits. It becomes more than just that. And so people who have friendship with the benefits should just state, look, I don't want to have any kind of connection with you, regardless if we have sex. It's very hard to not have a sexual connection with somebody, especially if somebody is talking with you after sex. You understand? And they're talking to you on a friendship level, and then you get attached. It's very, very hard to do that. It's not very easy to do that. You have to be a person that's really emotionally unattached to that person in order for you to have friendship with benefits, which usually doesn't work out. It usually never works out. It usually is that one of us or one of yous catch feelings for that other person. You know what I mean? So somebody should be really honest. Like if you're going to have that with somebody, be totally honest. Look, I just want, no kind of emotional attachment. So in order for you to do that, you would have to not even speak to that person on a personal level. You understand? It's just like, how was your day or whatever, but that is almost very impossible to execute because emotions are involved regardless if you have sex, it's very hard. Okay? Because you're getting to know that person, even if it is on a sexual level, you're always going to have an attachment to that person because you were with them. But it's true on this that women, when you date a man and you really are into that man, try to not have sex right away if you're really interested in that man, because then the whole thing just messes up and he will just look for you for a booty call and not other than just a booty call. And in regards to men thinking that women who look like me, I don't particularly go out all out, and I can go all out and dress myself in high heels and do the whole bit. But I'm almost happy that I don't, because I'd rather look this way so that you see the real me as me. It's not that I don't like dressing up, and it's not that I have no self-confidence in myself. I actually do. Okay, I actually have and you know why I feel like I do have self-confidence? Because I've gotten, like I said before in another video, I've become the person that I am and I actually like what I have become. And if you were to tell me 5 or 6 years ago, or even 16 years ago, that if I would be doing this, I'd say to you, get out of here. Because I was extremely shy person, extremely shy. And I have conquered the fear of being in front of a camera. So yeah, like I never thought that I would be doing this. But to assume that somebody, just because they dress a certain way, probably makes it unappealing to you. So, is not that that probably person cannot, dress up and be all dollied up. I am just a person that is just comfortable in being just me because that's just me. I don't feel like I need to impress a man in order for that man to feel attracted to me. I also don't appreciate a man lying to me because I do feel like I'm a very intelligent woman and I have a lot to offer. But there are very, very much a lot of aspects about me that, that are good, and a lot of traits that are very good about me. So, if you like a certain kind of man or a woman and you feel like physical appearance is a must, in your relationship, well, maybe you shouldn't get involved with somebody who is a plain Jane like me. I'm just saying this as an example. Like if you are involved with a woman who is just a plain Jane and she is not very much appealing to you because she doesn't dress a certain way, is not shaped to your liking, and you like a certain kind of woman, but just are using another woman as your side piece just because you want to jack off or jack off or whatever you call it, want to get out your jocks off a woman because you feel like you need sex at that moment, and you have no regard or respect for that woman, just because she looks a certain way and you think that she's not intelligent enough, that she's not going to catch on, then I feel sorry for you, and maybe that's why you don't have the woman that you truly want, because you are an asshole. You're an asshole, so, and maybe because you are a narcissistic asshole, maybe that's why you don't have the woman that you want. And so, some men and women are so narcissistic that they feel like the world. Colby, what's wrong? Come here. Colby, come here. What's wrong? Why are you crying? You already did what you had to do. Keep it down. Okay? Keep it down. Let me do what I have to do. And so, yeah, like, if you're a narcissistic person who deals with people who are really into looks and wow, I'm like, like, woo, I'm like that is okay. I don't criticize people who are narcissistic, but don't come fucking with me, because I really will give you a mouthful. And don't think that just because I'm a shy type, don't think that I don't have a mouth. It's just like, you know, making the assumption that just because, or he is a certain way, that you can walk all over them. No, you got to be careful of who you are, getting yourself involved with, and then thinking that that person is not intelligent enough, that they don't know that you're fucking with them. Okay, so, and it, a lot of narcissistic people have the thing that all the attention is focused on them. Like, this person who is a plain Jane is probably jealous or whatever, just in case. You know, honey, there's no jealousy here. I'm just talking on a personal level right now, people. Like, you will not see me. And I'm talking about me now. You will not see me talking down upon another woman. No, you won't. No. Am I reading? No, I'm not reading. I mean, I am reading you. Yeah, I'm reading on what you're saying to me. So, yeah, like you won't see me like talking bad about another woman. You won't see me being envious or jealous of another woman. Why? You might say to yourself, well, shit, you're not really the bomb, And so, like, she's way prettier than you. True. That may be true, but I don't feel like that. No. I feel like I'm enough of a woman that I don't need to be envious of any woman. You know why? Because the same thing she has, I have. Okay? And so she has tits, I have tits. She has a pussy, I have a pussy. And so, hey, like she could be very motivated, and she could be very accomplished. But guess what? I'm not going to be the person to say, "Oh, who the hell does she think she is? Let me mess her up, or let me talk bad about her, or fuck her, or whatever." Like, who the hell does she think she is? She thinks that she's better than me because she's doing this, or because no, why should I? Why? Why should I feel jealous of another woman? If she is a woman the same way as I am a woman, she is a woman. I have nothing to fear, and I have definitely nothing to feel jealous about. I feel just as accomplished as the next woman, and our views may not be the same views, and our interests may not be the same interest, but it doesn't mean that I am jealous of her. No. Walk where? Where do you want me to walk? I don't know where you want me to walk. Tell me in full sentences. What are you trying to tell me? Like walk. Yeah, like walk away. Absolutely yes. Because me personally, Rodolfo, I have never fought. My ex had, like I told you before, my ex had another girlfriend that he had admired. Like he had a girl that he really admired. She was like way younger than me, way prettier, like way pretty, a very pretty girl. And I wasn't jealous. I said, hey, look, if you want her, go right ahead. The door is open. Look, it's right over there. But don't think that you can come back. You just leave. I do not hold. No, I mean, I want to see. You want to see me walk? All right, get out of here. I'll do that some other time, not now. I'm talking right now. But, yeah, like, no. You know, I will not feel jealous of another woman. There's just no way that I am the kind of woman. I'm not beating up on that woman. If you don't see me beating the shit out of her and saying, look, this is my man, and that won't happen because it has never happened where I have been in conflict or in confrontation with another woman, because I feel that I am an enough woman to be on my own and to be on my own 2 feet and not feel intimidated, not by any other woman. Ever. That will not happen in a million gazillion years. I'm telling you, it will not happen. Because just as she is a woman and she has a lot of things going for her. Well, the next woman too. Only she might look different. She may be different, and her interests might be different and may not be yours. But doesn't mean that is less of importance than mine. You know? So no, to answer anyone's question, have I ever been jealous of another woman? No. Have I ever confronted another woman knowing that I have, knowing that I know that he has been with my man? Never confronted another. And look, I have had situations where my best friend from high school, I used to have my boyfriend, okay, and we dated for 2 years. He was uh, an Italian guy. We were in high school, okay. She used to go to my house. She used to, her and I, we used to go to each other's house. And that was her first boyfriend. That was her boyfriend before he went out with me. So, but at the time he was going out with me. So she's like, how do I deal with the fact of me telling my best friend that I had slept with her boyfriend? She confronted me. I didn't confront her. She told me. My ex came back to me one day, a long time, way after this happened. And he came back and he came knocking at my door. And he told me that day, I regret what I did to you. I miss you and I want to go back with you. And my words to him was, you will not ever have me again. Ever. Because vice versa, what you throw away, you do not pick up ever again. If you blew it or if you blowing it, you will not have me again. If it didn't matter to you that you cheated on me, then it won't matter to you doing it to me again. So I don't want you again. So you have a chance to do it to me again? No. Because if you really would have been loyal, you wouldn't have cheated with me with that person. You know why? Because you were thinking of that person before you thought about cheating on me. So you stay with the person that you were cheated me with, because that's the person who you thought of first. So why are you coming back to me? So I can get the seconds? Come on now. I am a good enough woman not to take seconds. Okay? And I know that, for I am a good woman. If I stood with a man for 16 years, it wasn't because I was a bad woman. It was because I was very much a very good woman. So, no. That answers anyone's question. No, I've never been jealous of another woman. Never. And I don't need to feel jealous of another woman, because I am sure about myself. Even if I look the way that I look, I like the way that I look. I feel comfortable the way that I look. I feel good the way that I look. Yeah, that I have my eye defect. Notice this, I have an eye defect. I am insecure about my defect, yes. Doesn't indicate that I am insecure about me as a person. Sure, I may not think that I am the most beautiful woman. Never said that I was. But doesn't indicate either that I hate the way that I look. No. I could say, I hate the way that I look, and, just for a bit, but no, as to go as far as to say, I hate the way that I look, I wish that I looked like that woman. I wish I had her body. I wish I had her hair. I wish I had her eyes. Or I wish I had her attitude and the way that she looks. No, because it took me this long to get to where I am at. And I'm not about to give up on myself. No. And I am not trying to convince anyone. I don't need to convince anyone of how I feel. And I don't need to convince me because I already know who I am. And I'm very proud of myself. I really am. Believe me when I tell you that. I really am. So, that goes for anyone. No one should envy or be jealous of anyone. And when I mean never or should ever, is because you don't know what that person is going through. You don't know their life. You don't know their history. You don't know, their true self. So why are you going to be jealous of that person? You don't know if that person is living a miserable life. You don't know if that person is living through a hell. You don't know what they have committed in their past. Do I want somebody's looks? No. I think my wrinkles and my features tells a story, and it tells a very sad and very struggling story. But it has made me the woman that I am today. It's made me a very independent, strong woman. I don't need, not that I don't need. When I say that, I'm not saying I don't need material stuff from anyone. That I would like support from a man. And I'm not talking about money, because men jump at the fact that there are a lot of women who want money from men. I don't want money from what I have today. The little that I have, I have done it on my own, and because people have given it to me. And I'm talking about good friends who have helped me out when I was homeless. But I have had, and I can actually say I had the opportunity of meeting good people who have helped me out. But also don't mistaken that people or friends you know help me all the time. They're not there to help me all the time. They're not there to support me financially. I do that on my own. And I'm proud of the person that I am, and what I have become, and how I do the things that I do is because I have a lot of this. Okay? A lot of this. And that's why I don't like people playing with my intelligence, because I know that I'm a very intelligent and smart woman. Okay? I may not show it. Sometimes you don't need to show who you are. Okay? You just know deep down inside that you are who you are. And it really doesn't matter what others think. And that I feel comfortable the way that I look and the way that I dress and the way that I am. Oh, hell yeah, I do, because I know that I can be me. I don't have to keep up to par and look a certain way in order to please people or to please others, because I am who I am. I don't need to please people. Who I need to please are the people that actually help me. Okay? And how I live my life is the way that I want to live it, because I live comfortable and I have earned it. I have earned it. And I'm happy for who I am. So if you're, if for anyone who feels like, oh man, I can't be that other person, or I want to be that other person. You don't want to be like that person. You don't need to be jealous of another person, because you are you, and God made you a unique you and a beautiful you. So I leave you with that. Like, I know that I've been here like a long time, but since I don't have anyone that's commenting, I really don't care, because this is about people, and people out there who are feeling, like they feel like they need to, keep up an image, and, they have to impress others in order for others to like them and to validate who they are. You don't need to validate to anyone who you are, because you're still going to be that same person regardless. You can change and still I know that you are, and I thank you for it. You know, you can change your appearance, but you will be the person that you are always meant to be. You know, regardless if that person approves of who you are. You can never please anyone. Do you know that? You can never please anyone. That's why you need to please yourself first. Because people will never be pleased and people will never be satisfied. They will always find something in you that's missing in them. Think about that. People complain about who you are, but in actuality, it's what's really going on in them, what's missing in them. And so they want to say, oh, well, you're not good enough for me, and you don't look this way. It's because something in them is missing in them. It has no reflection on you. Because then they'll find something else that they don't like about you, and then you have to change that. So you know what? Keep at you and be you and do you and know that you and you are the best you can be. This is not something that I want you to believe. Oh, no, this is something that I want you to be convinced of. This is something that I actually want you to believe in yourself. Thank you. I am so happy that you said that because most people will not watch. But I'm glad that you're watching. But, believe that you are who you are and believe you, not that you have to convince yourself. Or maybe you should convince yourself, look, I am this, and convince yourself daily and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love me. I love who I am, and I don't need anybody's validation in order to feel valued and worth, because I am who I am. Only I am a better version of me. You understand? And by the way, we all grow. As we grow older, we care less. We care less of how we look. It's only people who live in the same past, that they're not willing to move forward and, and not focus so much on the outside. Those are people that are so superficial that they cannot live without looks. You understand? And that's not bad. When I say about looks, I'm not necessarily saying look like garbage or look like dirt, or look like you don't care about yourself. Nah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like look like you, comfortable you. Don't fall. Pick yourself up. You're not falling. Like that. Like you always have to be comfortable with you. You understand? Feel you. Feel comfortable with you, and always feel comfortable with you. Don't look for approval from others, because looks are just superficial. That'll eventually will die down, and once you hit a certain age, those things start not meaning so much, but what it's inside. Oh, you're falling for me. Oh, thank you. But that's all I wanted to say. Like people, like we gotta step forward into bettering our frame of mind, and thinking that we always need approval from other people. No man and no woman should be that much of importance that you need to change your whole outlook and your own person from inside. Sometimes when we do that, it's not even worth it, because that person was never paying attention to you in the first place. They never ever cared for you or loved you in the first place if they're wanting you to change for them. When you learn to accept the way you are, others will be accepting to you. So you got to learn how to accept yourself for who you are and love you, no matter how hard it is. You will always be you. There's no other you. Okay? You are who you are. And if that person cannot accept you, then that person doesn't deserve to be in your existence, in your equation. You understand? Doesn't deserve it. So, yeah, jealousy comes with that. No, it doesn't. But just to say that in my personal, like, if I'm jealous of other women, no, I'm not jealous of other women. Am I jealous of my friends? No, I want my friends to always be successful and always be a step above of who they can actually be. And I know that my friends have a lot of potential to be more than who they can be. And they will always grow as individuals. And I want to grow with them. I may be down here, but just because I'm down here doesn't necessarily mean that I want people who are in my circle to be down there. Okay? Doesn't mean that. Just because you're doing something that is different from what I'm doing doesn't necessarily mean that what I'm doing is less of importance than what you're doing. Only that what we're doing is totally different and we're just in a different level doesn't mean that I'm not caring about what you're doing or that I'm less than you or that you're more than I am. No. Because when we die, we all go to the same place. We all go in the same place. There's no high, there's no low, there's no middle, there's no nothing. Okay? It's just what we are. We have to learn how to grow spiritually as human beings and leave all of that nonsense about being jealous, women especially, about not empowering other women and thinking that just because your guy has another woman, that woman is better than you. No, it just means that he was never into you. And learn to accept that. And when you learn to accept that, you will move on and live a better you. And you will actually learn to be a better you and grow into a better you. Okay? So people, I just told a little bit about myself. So I hope that you have some insight of who I am. And it's just not, this is not, just made up stories. It's just something that I just wanted to relate out there, just in case if somebody has a mixed up and confusion about me. I'm not confused, and I feel very happy at where I am right now. If you're up there, I'll catch up. And if you're way up there, then God bless you. Because you got a lot of ways to go. And I only wish the best for you. Regardless if you even think that I'm, totally the opposite of what you are thinking in your head, I always want you to succeed. There's one thing about me. I am one woman that will not be jealous because you are succeeding. I always want my friends to succeed. I always want my friends to be up there. That if I'm way down here, doesn't mean that I cannot catch up to you. It's just that I'm here and probably I want to be there. You don't know that. I probably do want to be down there. You know what I mean? Or I want to be here or I want to be there. But maybe I want to take it slow too. So if you're way up there and you're thinking like, oh shit, like she can't keep up, or I really don't want to be, involved with her because she can't be other than what she is right now, then hallelujah for you. Amen. And I hope that I wish you the best in your journey. I wish you the best in whatever you do. I truly do. I wish you the best. I only wish you the best. I only wish God bless you. And I hope you have more blessings than today. And hopefully tomorrow you'll have even more blessings and more blessings and more blessings. Okay? So everybody, good night. Have a great night. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for my subscribers. Thank you for my viewers. Thank you for my commenters. Rodolfo, you don't need to fall in love anymore because I'm about to go to sleep. But Rodolfo, thank you for tuning in. I so appreciate that you have tuned in, my loyal viewer. But you need me. One thing is need and one thing is want. You do not need me. You don't need me. Nobody needs anyone. You may want something, but I don't, like, I take that like you need. It's like, you need? Do you really need me? No, you don't really need me. No. That's bad to say that. You don't need anything. Yes, amor. Amore. Look, you lover over there. You're just a lover. You're just a flirt. That's all you are. But anyway, you don't need me. Okay? Stop being needy. You're not needing me. Okay? You don't even know me. You don't know me. You haven't seen me. Okay? Stop being cuddling. Everybody needs cuddling. Even I need a cuddle once in a while. But it doesn't mean that you need me. You just need a cuddle. Okay, wait a minute. Maybe I can give you a cuddle from here. Wait. Ow. I love Cardi. She's so cute. Okay, here comes your hug, okay? Okay, open your hands and you know something? Somebody said this. Hug yourself. I don't know who the hell said that to me. But they said that. They said, you should hug yourself. Hug yourself. The next time you say that you need somebody, hug yourself. If you don't have anybody to hug you, hug yourself. You know it, you know it. I ain't tripping on finesse. You know, I ain't tripping on finesse. You know it, you know it. No, sex is not everything, and you're right. Sex is not everything. Unfortunately, for some people, it is. And some people need sex. Sex is not bad, just as long as you know that you don't want any kind of involvement and that, it's just sex, just like strictly sex, and that's it. I am not against sex, but I love long-term relationships. I just want a partner. I don't want to marry anyone. For what? I don't want to marry anyone. Not that I don't want to marry anyone. Let me rephrase that because that's bad too, what I just said. That's not true. I do want to marry somebody, but I want somebody that if I ever marry someone, I want, see, this is the problem that most people who marry, they forget who they fell in love with, but also the fact that we all have separate interests and we all have separate ideas, and we also have different friends and different likes and dislikes, okay? And so if I have a partner or somebody that I fall in love with or somebody that wants to marry me, I would want that person to have the same likes that I have. I want to talk to that person on an intelligent level before I get to know them. And I also want my partner to live life to the fullest, that I or him and I are not, like always being together, like we can have our separate interest aside from always being with one another. It's very beautiful when you have a couple who love to be around each other and actually trust each other and know that they can come back and actually talk about the things that they enjoyed during the day. I should never say that I don't want to be married. Every woman wants to be married. Every woman wants to, to have a life partner. Um, and then some of them don't, you know what I mean? Like some of them don't want to get married. They just want a companion. I feel that a companionship is more suitable for me because it gives me the freedom to choose whether I want to be with that person or not in the long run. And so I feel like today's, if you get married, it's like a whole issue regarding money. And, I don't want to go, the less complicated, the more better for me. I like to support I love to support my partner. And support, I mean, in anything that they do. Like, if my partner likes to, play baseball, let's just say, and he has an us or affinity to playing baseball, then, and he has a career on that, let's just say, I'll support him 100% because that's what he wants. And I want to only be supportive of what he does. But it's also got to be vice versa. Like if you're only doing all the support and you're doing all the loyalty and you're only doing the relationship all on your own, then what's the use of being in a relationship? So today, what I mean to say is that relationships today are just too complicated. They're just too complicated. And I feel like I'm not of this era. I'm definitely not of this generation because I just feel like checkpoints are a waste of time. Surprise me, be spontaneous, go out with me. Just don't, try. I hate to be somebody's dirty little secret or that someone would be embarrassed to be around me. Why should you be embarrassed to be around me? Why? Because of the way I look or maybe because of how I dress? That's part of me, If you can't accept that, then please don't bother me because I want somebody real, I want somebody to be real with me. If you're not willing to, go out with me on a dinner date or just be honest with me and just have a good time being together, being in bed, having sex is not a good time. Getting to know somebody, knowing their likes and dislikes, going out to the favorite place or a favorite restaurant, seeing a movie, something like that of that nature. But if you're gonna go and just have sex with whomever you want to have sex with, then just leave me alone. I don't need somebody to give me some damn disease, just go, move along. Go your own way. I don't need somebody like that. I really don't. I really need somebody that if you see that I'm struggling, you know, say to me, Maria, do you need me to hammer a picture or something like that? And men are not really supportive of women who are independent. They just think she's independent, she could take care of herself. You know what? Just because she takes care of herself doesn't necessarily mean that she doesn't need a man in her life. Those are the ones that necessarily need a man and necessarily are the ones that need a lot of support system because she's independent, because she doesn't ask for help and she doesn't seek a man to help her. Most of them just assume that she's just okay. And it's not true. So anyway, we got so many issues to talk on, and I hope that next Sunday, my next weekend will be a little bit better than this one. I was sick. I wasn't feeling well. I went to the urgent care. Hopefully I will feel better, and hopefully all my pains will go away. This hug actually is for me. And thank you, Rodolfo, for tuning in. I give you all a whole lot of love. And please stay tuned for, when is it? Wednesday, Live with Maria. You're looking for somebody to cuddle. You're looking for somebody to cuddle you. Like I said, cuddle you first, love you first, and then eventually you will find that person. You will, once you start loving yourself. It takes a while to actually believe that, and actually make it stick in your life and also in your mind. That you first have to love you and cuddle you, because you are the most important in your life. You are the most important. I want to feel safe. You are safe. What makes you feel like you don't feel safe? Are you in danger? Like that. Those words are so are so big. Like you said, I want to feel safe. Like, oh, like you don't feel safe where you are. That's bad. If you don't feel safe where you're at, that's not good, because I'm feeling like somebody's abusing you, like somebody is doing something to you that they shouldn't be doing. And so you should seek help. You know, if you feel like you're not safe, then you should go somewhere where you do feel safe. You know what I mean? But I do want you to feel safe, and God is with you. So don't ever feel like you are not safe, because when you believe in God and you believe in the higher spirit, you know, you have to just believe that He's there with you, or whatever you believe in, you have to believe in that and know that you will be safe. Okay? My mouth is so dry. I hate doing this. I just like doing it. Looks so ugly. You cuddle me, I be safe. I already cuddled you. How do you want me to cuddle you? I already cuddled you. Didn't you see it? Okay, so every time, like if I leave off here, you have to actually sit through the whole video and wait for my cuddle. Or you have to scroll, like, you know, like you do, and go to the point where I cuddle. So I'm going to leave another cuddle for you so that every time you want to cuddle, see? I'm cuddling you right now. Look at my big face. I really don't have a big face. I actually have a small face, but in the camera, it looks so big. So, and then you see my smile. And then it's complete, because then it's the cuddle and the smile. So I'm giving it to you unconditionally. I'm not, you know, like, there you go. You have a hug. You have a hug from me, Rodolfo. Thank you so much, Rodolfo, for giving me the chance to hug you and give you a smile. Yay! Oh, look at that big face. Just remember my big face. Like, my big face. Okay, so you see this plant here. Oh, Jesus. I need to really move this plant. I have nowhere else to put this darn plant. Then we play. No, we're not going to play. We're not going to play at all. No playing. I refuse to play with anyone. I refuse to play with anyone. I am not a toy to be played with, and definitely not someone to be played with. I'm to be taken seriously, because I am like fine wine to be taken care of. Like fine wine. The older you get, the better you get. All right, let me stop. I'm really not drinking anything, and here I am laughing. No, really, I'm not drinking anything, you people. So it's just water. Look at that. Oh my God, I have that little water right there. All right, so everyone, have a nice evening. I hope I do feel better, because right now I'm sweating like crazy. So I hope that it's just like some menopausal thing that's going on with me. Oh, it's beautiful to be this age. All the pain and the worries about growing old. Oh, and jacuzzi? Have you ever been in a jacuzzi? I've been in a jacuzzi. I like jacuzzis, but I like a pool better. I'm even scared. Oh, you've never been in a jacuzzi? It actually feels very good. Like if you have pains and stuff like that, or you just, you know, want to really relax, jacuzzi is really good. No, it is. It actually is. I mean, I have a friend who lives in a place where they have jacuzzis, and it's actually very nice. Very few people use jacuzzis, because you know some people feel like you can get infections very easy. So, but yeah, jacuzzis, depending if they clean it out very well, is actually very nice. So, I wanna hold you. No, we're not playing in any jacuzzi. I don't know what you're thinking. I'm not playing in no jacuzzi. Hold you, supposed to. I'm doing a lip syncing right now. Okay, hugs. I hug you. You hug me. We have a good night. Oh my God, it's 1:19 and I have a red light, man. It's like, it's time to leave. All right, so take care. Make sure you stay tuned to Live Maria. I keep saying that. Live with Maria. Tune in Wednesday. I think I said 7 to 8. Okay, yes, I did. No, 6 to 7. Okay, Wednesday, 6 to 7. Please stay tuned to Live with Maria. And stay tuned next weekend for my adventures, my vlog adventures. As a matter of fact, that's what it's going to be called, Vlog Adventures. Okay, so stay tuned to Wednesday, Live with Maria, 6 to 7. Don't miss it. And when I mean live, it's just like this live. So stay tuned to that. Okay. And it'll be with that whatever, like right now I really don't have a guest, and I want to bring in guests that I actually can talk, like real life people. But I also need to construct and establish a place so that I can do that. So anyway, I hope that everybody has a great evening. And good morning to everyone. Happy Monday to everyone. You do realize it's Monday. Okay, so take care, buddy. Okay? Hugs, kisses to everyone. Okay? Peace out. All right, everyone? Peace out. And that's what it will be. Saturdays and Sunday, or in the week of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be my vlog adventures. Stay tuned. Love you guys. Take care. And good morning. Mwah. Mwah. Bye.